Hey guys, and welcome back. Tonight is match day. It is the testimonial of Allan McGregor. Newcastle United are currently travelling over to Glasgow now as we take on Rangers tonight. And our first proper match back, I would argue. The majority of our first teamers will be playing tonight, with the possibility of the likes of Tenari making his debut. You've got Bruno, Jordan and Wilson, all your big hitters coming back, and it's going to be a huge game of football. Champions League opposition, the first of many for Newcastle United this season. But as always, throughout the entire transfer window, the speculation surrounding the future of Allan Saint-Maximin is constantly having question marks surrounding it. There's all sorts going on. ITK accounts, so these are pretty much Newcastle fans who are being taught information or they're just making shit up. So they come out on social media today and they claim that Saint-Maximin is not travelling with the squad tonight. Now, normally for me, I wouldn't ever kind of talk about these topics, but around 10:30 this morning, I was actually contacted by a journalist because essentially he was taught that Saint-Maximin would not be with the squad tonight, but he wanted me to keep an eye on the first team coach when he arrived. So he actually contacted me telling me that, and he wanted to essentially know the answer to that question. So the fact that I've actually been taught this by a journalist as well as these ITK accounts coming out, I think it's at least worth mentioning in a video. Worst case scenario, I got it wrong, so be it. I want to say straight away, guys, that I'm not 100% sure on this. But the possibility of Saint-Maximin not being there tonight is actually quite high. And the problem with this being as well is that the second that Newcastle United are done tonight in Glasgow, they're actually travelling across to America for the Premier League USA series. So any first team players that aren't there tonight, with the exceptions of the likes of Nick Pope, Emil Kraft, Joe Willett because of their injuries, any first teamers that aren't there, likes of Jamal Lewis, Saint-Maximin of course in this case, Mankio, if they aren't there tonight, I think it raises massive question marks surrounding their future. So it's quite important to talk about in the video. But first off for me, guys, you can see at the minute I'm currently sitting on my bed over in Scotland in this terrible hotel room, may I add. If you're new around here, make sure you get down there, hit that subscribe button. There's going to be vlogs on the channel tonight and tomorrow from the Rangers match. And once I am done in Glasgow tonight, I'm going straight across to Philadelphia, Atlanta, New Jersey and New York for the next 2 weeks. Newcastle United content will come on the channel daily. Any fans that are going to be over there in America, try and get in contact with me. We'll try and get some meet and greets going on. I'm just going to get loads of videos on the channel, so there's a big heads up for you. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts on this topic surrounding Saint-Maximin. Do you think he's going to leave the football club? Again, it's continuing to come out in social media. Without further ado, let's get straight into this speculation that's came out. So what do we already know about Allan Saint-Maximin before going into today's news? So I've been reported over the last week or so from the likes of TalkSport about Newcastle United looking to fund Harvey Barnes by selling Allan Saint-Maximin to a Saudi Arabian club. Straight away, the big quotation marks being around the word fund. We're not selling them because we want to sell them, we're selling them because we have to order financial fair play to actually get Harvey Barnes in. So that's a big thing there. We are looking to replace Allan Saint-Maximin with Harvey Barnes. Straight away, Newcastle fans aren't happy with that. And to be fair, I have to agree with it. I mean, why would Newcastle sell Saint-Maximin? Yes, he's had a poor season, you could say, goals and assists wise, but technical ability, he's still next to none. I think for around the price you would get for Saint-Maximin, 30 to 40 million pounds, could we honestly get someone better than Saint-Maximin in for that price? For me, no. Unless it's the player side of things where he's desperate to get out of Newcastle. I can't really see why Newcastle would be looking to sell him in order to fund Harvey Barnes. Doesn't make much sense to me. And considering the fact that Newcastle are now into the Champions League, we've got new Saudi Arabia sponsors into the football club. We definitely have the funds available to buy Harvey Barnes without needing to sell Saint-Maximin. I do fully stand by that. But the fact that Saint-Maximin being rumoured to be joining these Saudi Arabian clubs has definitely got some question marks going. As for the Gateshead game on Saturday, so he came into the squad, he started, he scored in the game and he got subbed off eventually. He was fine from the match, but it was reported by fans, these ITK accounts, that on the Saturday night he actually went to Newcastle Airport and got a flight somewhere. Whether that's true or not, I've got absolutely no idea, but I thought it's worth noting anyway because fans have reported this on social media. And I think if you're going to go from what's been said today, it definitely could potentially fill the gaps into this little puzzle here. So we got into today now. So as I mentioned before, around 10:30 this morning, the journalist had actually messaged me directly. He was asking about Saint-Maximin. He was asking if he's going to be travelling up with the squad because, well, he's been taught this information, but he wasn't entirely sure of the legitimacy behind it. Now, to any journalists watching this video, I'd probably recommend you not to message me. I mean, I'm just a YouTuber. I make videos on Newcastle United. Yes, okay, I might know bits and bobs at times, but I'm not, I wouldn't say I know the insides and outsides of the club. I definitely don't. I just react to what I see in social media. So I'll probably recommend you not to message me about these sort of things, but obviously in this case, the fact that these ITK accounts then came out a couple of hours later. Rob, now funny enough, you might think straight, oh, this guy's just going to be talking loads of shit. Now, to be fair, I've seen Rob actually get quite a few things correct, so the fact that he's came out saying that Newcastle United are looking to sell Saint-Maximin, he won't be travelling up with the squad. Newcastle fans straight away I started to believe it on social media, and there's loads of speculation popping out now, so that's kind of the reason I got this video out here. Loads of Newcastle fans are kind of questioning the future of him. Now, it's entirely possible that, again, as I said in the intro, he could just turn up and all of a sudden all of this speculation for the day just turns out to be nothing. But I definitely think there's more than what people are making out to be. I definitely think there's more behind the scenes. I've said it all window long. Saint-Maximin is a guy I can expect or believe would leave Newcastle United. I've always been a bit back and forth between it, but I definitely can see the speculation. Again, with his little goodbye messages towards the start, that was one thing. And then we had all the Saudi Arabia sides as well. The amount of players that are joining Saudi Arabian clubs, the wages are extremely high, the prices for fees are extremely high. Newcastle United, of course, owned by the player. Fans may not like it, but it's believed that Newcastle United could end up working with Saudi Arabia clubs to try and offload some players for more money, to try and get around FFP. So it's definitely a thing we can keep an eye on. For me, honestly, I can't really give you a clear-cut answer to that question about Saint-Maximin, but the reason why I'm making this video is because I think there's enough weight behind it to suggest it potentially being true. And I wouldn't be surprised, I think is the best way of putting it, if he wasn't to turn up tonight and if he wasn't to be in the USA tour. But I definitely think if he's not on the USA tour, that could potentially end his career at Newcastle. I think not being there for 2 weeks is definitely, that's a huge part of pre-season playing those Premier League teams. So we'll see what happens anyway. But I definitely want to keep an eye on him. He's someone that I'm still not keen on. It's just, it's continued to pop up now, and it's one of these ones where, yeah, if I had to give a clear-cut answer, I couldn't really say 100% now, but I definitely still believe there's a high possibility he could leave in this window at some point. I just believe in the way things have been going with Newcastle. There's this constant attention towards him, there's media, drama, etc. Everything, there's so much attention towards him, there's a lot of question marks being raised, and somewhere I think it's quite believable. But yeah, that's kind of what to make this video anyway, guys, to try and put the message across to you. If you don't like this kind of video, I apologise, but I do feel like fans should be aware that there is a lot of media drama going around about him, and the fact that I have been contacted by a journalist this morning. I think there's definitely at least some information being spread across. Whether that's correct information or not is another question, which is why I'm going to have question marks in the title and thumbnail just to make sure that it's definitely not me claiming this. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that anyway, because I definitely think it's interesting to talk about. We'll see what happens tonight. We'll see whether this information is correct or not. Will Allan Saint-Maximin be there tonight? We'll keep a big eye on him. But if not, though, I definitely think there's more than what meets the eye. But we'll see anyway. Appreciate it though, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all later on tonight for the Rangers vlog. We've got plenty of stuff to get into, but I thought we'll mention Saint-Maximin briefly there, because again, more speculation. But let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you all in the next one.